Lastly, with news before we get into the now playing, I wanted to cover Scrubs is coming back to NBC. Because of the writer's strikes, people really weren't sure if it was going to come back, but it is coming back, and it's actually the finale is planned to be episode 11. Still a short season by all means, but what's really interesting is that the Scrubs executive producer is really good friends with the head at ABC Studios. And as you might know, ABC Studios helps to make Scrubs. Scrubs used to be funded by Touchstone, who then broke off to ABC Studios. Scrubs is still shown by NBC. And NBC only has Scrubs through the 7th season to episode 11. Here's the interesting part. Scrubs is now currently filming episode 13. So you might ask yourself, if NBC only has them up through episode 11, why are they filming episodes after number 11 if there's no network to show them on? The big rumor has been that they're going to shift to ABC afterwards so that all the episodes can be shown there. And the rumor has it that they're going to film up through 16 more episodes for season 8. And as we mentioned, our friend Nick, who created our new email address, the DLC box, he's a huge Scrubs fan. This kind of news would apply to him because Scrubs is definitely coming back for an 8th season, no matter what happens, whether NBC wants it or not.
Yeah, hugely a great show. It's not something I make a point of watching, but every time I'm flicking through the channels and it's on, I've always enjoyed it.
To be quite honest with you, I know Scrubs is a comedy, but the times I've seen it, when that show is dramatic,
it's good.
It pulls at your heartstrings. It comes out of nowhere, and it really gets you.
I really enjoy shows like that. That's part of the reason why I love Boston Legal, because they have very similar scenes like that.
And I can admit, Boston Legal to me is more of a comedy, but I guess you make a good point, even though I don't watch it.
When the dramatic scenes are there, they're pretty dramatic.
Yeah, and when it happens in Scrubs, because you're so used to them being funny, it's
not as often in the Scrubs.
It brings a tear to your eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, and now to lighten the mood, we're going to run into now playing. I'm going to sum up mine real quick. I beat Professor Layton in the career mode. It took me game time 19 hours, but I spent about 4 hours on that last puzzle trying to figure it out.
That did take you a while.
So I pay it more about 25 hours, considering how I could turn it off and turn it back on. I still have a handful of puzzles left, and every week Nintendo releases downloadable puzzles for it. So it's still got a lot of life to it. And with work kind of taking up most of my time, and I've been quite busy, I've been playing a lot more Cross DS. I am thinking about buying Okami for the Wii coming up on tax day, April 15th. It just depends on my financial situation, because Okami was a great game I bought for PlayStation 2, and it didn't really sell all that well, but was incredible. So I'm really thinking I might pick it up again.
I'm sure we probably will. Yeah, that would give us an excuse to play it.
It'll give me an excuse to buy another game and not play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What have I been playing this week? Nothing really new. Played Skate. I've been playing Skate the past like 4 nights in a row. Played a little M+, but nothing really new. The only thing I stumbled across was 2 nights ago on Kotaku. I was reading an article and I stumbled across a independent development studio by the name of Tale of Tales. You can go to their website, taleoftales.com. And they're just a small development studio trying to make a name for themselves. They're making very short, kind of stylized games that are something different, And I downloaded a recent demo. It was entitled The Graveyard, and essentially all it is it's more a work of art, really, I guess, than a game is what they're going for. It's very stylized, very very different. And the game starts off. You're an elderly woman, probably like 80 years old, walking through a graveyard, right?
Wait, is this a fantasy or is this a game?
It's a game. Look, it's very artistic. So it's all in black and white. Everything's rendered very nicely. The sound effects are really cool, and just backgrounds, dogs barking, birds chirping, whatever. So you guide your elderly woman through the graveyard.
Does she have a walker?
She has a cane.
Ah, I knew it! I've never even seen this.
She has a cane, and you walk down this path, and there's
Does she have a rascal? Can we give her a rascal?
No.
There's no microtransactions from EA?
She walks...
Because we are sponsored by EA tonight. No, you can't buy a
Well, maybe rascal. You can download, the BFG 9000 or something for it. But, no, so you got her down this path, and she walks real slow, and part of the whole thing is just taking in the atmosphere, and, I guess it's not for all people. So you walk down the path, you get to a bench, you turn her around, and she sits down on the bench.
No way!
Bear with me here. Bear with me. So as soon as you sit down on the bench, the camera angle changes, and it kind of like swings around her, and a song starts playing. It's kind of like a spoken word poem sort of song, and it's in.
Is there a beatnik playing a bongo?
No, it's pretty much just like a guitar. That's about it. But I believe they're singing in Belgian. I'm not quite sure. I'm not.
You don't know what language it is.
I'm pretty sure it's Belgian because I thought I looked. In any case, I think it's Belgian. Anyway, so the guy's singing about like death, and really the song's about all the people in the graveyard that you just walked through. There's like about a boy that died, an elderly woman, and a guy that died in an accident. All these people are in the graveyard. And then the demo I download, you go through the songs maybe like 3-4 minutes long, and you get up from the bench, and you walk out of the graveyard, and that's the demo. You give me a look like.
What kind of game is this?
Well, you can download. Apparently, you can like contribute $5, and every time you play the game, there's a chance of the old woman dying. It doesn't happen every time, but occasionally, I guess, like, I don't know if it's mid-song or, like, when you're just walking down, maybe she just keels over, but apparently she dies. And it's just, like, a kind of artistic sort of thing. You know, again, like I say, very stylized.
Oh, let me cut in. So, I've never played it. I've never even seen this thing.
Right.
So, if you contribute $5, and you're like, here, check this out. I said, okay. And the first time I tried it out, the old lady dies before she gets to the bench.
Well, I don't know.
What kind of game is that?
Well, I don't know if it's right before you get to the bench, but it's probably mid-song. But it's like, imagine, you know, you're going to see like a local band play and you've never heard them.
Is it a cover band or an actual band?
It can be an actual band because this is something original.
Okay.
And you pay, you know, like your $10 at the door. You might.
Wait. So tell me that you're gonna say I pay $10 at the door to see this band. They play one song and then walk off the stage.
Well,
Is that what you're saying? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
Well, maybe, but it's a
Maybe,
really,
so
but it's a really, but it's a different song.
What?
But it's a different song, and it's.
Is it a cover or is it the actual original song? Did they write it themselves?
But it's a song that's completely different.
Are they a singer-songwriter?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But it's a song that you've never heard anything like it. You've never seen anything like it performance-wise, and
is it like the Blue Man Group?
Sure, but look, it was a demo. Will I pay the $5? Probably not.
No,
but
you will not. I know you won't.
I considered it.
You're frugal.
I considered it, and I almost downloaded it.
No.
I just look. It's something different. It's an independent studio who probably doesn't make any money off this. And
because they don't make games, they make a thing where an old lady walks and sits down on a bench, listens to a spoken word poem, gets up and dies.
Well, that's that. That's,
although realistic and true to life,
but you're missing the point.
A woman can't walk the graveyard.
You're looking. You have to look at it from like an art standpoint. How it's something different and something how it's going to appeal to different people and it's going to mean something to different people. It's not just like you know. It's not like a virtual console download for $5. Anyway, whatever. We've talked too long about this.
I thought it was interesting. If not,
it is interesting, and I would recommend downloading the demo just because it's something different that you.
How can they get to download it? Can you
go to taleoftales.com? On there, they have a list of all the current games they're working on. On the front page, it says The Graveyard, so just look for The Graveyard. It'll be on there. So, something different. Go download it. It's only for PC.
If anything, wait, PC load letter?
So, that's that. That's not playing. We spent a lot of time on that.
So,